All right, so hello and welcome to South Hills Community Wellness. My name is Jacqueline Battaglia, and this is
Laura Velocit.
Our goal and mission with this group is to help our members gain access to the knowledge from people in their own community to create and maintain balance in their lives. A place to learn, connect, and collaborate on a variety of personal development, health, and wellness topics. For those of you who are new to the group, welcome. We do have a disclaimer that we have a mutual agreement between our speakers and our members that these workshops are strictly to share knowledge, value, and connect with like-minded people. South Hills Community Wellness does not agree or disagree with the content presented, nor are we promoting a service or a product. These Zoom conferences will be recorded. Therefore, if you would like to remain anonymous, you have the option to disconnect your camera and audio on the control panel by your name. These are also meant to be interactive, so please, we encourage our members to share stories, ideas, and suggestions with the group during the presentations. Thank you all for being with us tonight. Tonight, we're pleased to welcome Marianne Brown. Marianne created a natural side of wellness, drawing from more than 30 years of continued education and 30 years of work experience as a healthcare professional. Empowering people is her passion because she understands firsthand the impact that physical and emotional trauma can have on one's life and well-being. Thank you, Marianne, for being with us tonight. Here we are.
Thank you, Jackie, for having me on again. This is so exciting to be able to be teaching people about essential oils and how they affect our emotions tonight. A little bit about me. I've been using doTERRA essential oils since 2012, and it's been a business since 2013. I've been teaching classes, I've been researching. I use them everywhere. They are all over my house because they're just helpful with every single thing with our body. Our face, wrinkles, our emotions, our physical body. I use them on my dogs, and everything, cooking, cleaning, and so on and so forth. So I'll start a little bit. I'm going to share my screen, and hopefully this is going to work. There we are. So getting acquainted with essential oils, you know, what is an essential oil? They're extract from plants. You know, a lemon is taken from a lemon. Lavender is taken from a lavender, and so on and so forth. They're made up of concentrated natural compounds. They're 50 to 70 times more powerful than herbs. They are easily metabolized by the body. So it's the same pH makeup as the cells of our body. So when we put essential oils on, or we smell them, or we take them internally, the body utilizes them right away because it's the same makeup. It doesn't have to say, oh, what is this? It's not foreign or anything like that. And this is so we come into the, you know, what contributes to the quality of essential oil. So when we get the skin sensitivities, or we have trouble digesting the essential oils, that means that there's toxins in it or pesticides. That means that it's not a pure oil. And that's when you can have a side effect of an oil, because the body is saying, oh, there's a toxin in here. And so it's not going to be readily absorbed. It's going to kick it out. And it's going to produce other chemicals then to prevent it from being absorbed in the body. So what contributes the quality is the purity. So when you buy an essential oil in the store or somewhere else and online, and it says, don't take it internally. Well, if a lemon is coming from a lemon, if a lavender is coming from a lavender, a lime's coming from a lime, why can't you take it internally? What is in that essential oil that they're trying to hide? So potency. Plants are grown and harvested in the habitat that it's supposed to be in. Like frankincense comes from the Middle East. Frankincense is a tree. And the frankincense oil comes from a resin from the sap of the tree. And like if frankincense, if that tree is grown in a different soil, then you're not going to have the potency of the chemicals, and you're not going to have the great therapeutic products. And testing, make sure that your oils are third-party tested. Multiple analysis performed on that oil. I met a guy at a vendor show who actually tested the essential oils, and it was really cool to listen to him how he tested them. And he's like, oh yeah, I have a lot of doTERRA essential oils that I test. And it was really cool to meet somebody that actually did that. And they have to make sure that they perform multiple analysis on that oil. And they're testing the therapeutic compounds to make sure that the greatest therapeutic benefits are in that oil. So there's 3 ways to use the oils: topical, internally, and aromatic. So remember always that topical, you want to make sure that you just test a little bit of your skin, because you have hot oils. You don't want to put them directly on your skin. You want to dilute them so they don't burn your skin. And with topical, you may have a sensitivity a little bit. So you want to just test that oil on your skin. And then if you're taking the oil internally, you always want to make sure that it's in a glass or aluminum bottle, because essential oils eat toxins. They eat the phytotoxins, and plastic is made out of phytotoxins. And so the essential oil is going to eat that plastic bottle. So the science behind emotional aromatherapy. Aromatherapy, the name, was created in the 20th century. Essential oils have been used for many, 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 millions of years, because they come from plants. And back then, that's the only thing that they had to use were the plants. And so they, in the 20th century then, they said, wow, these smell really good, and we're noticing that they're doing stuff to our brain. And so that's when they labeled it aromatherapy, because of the smell. So aromatherapy, it triggers chemical responses, the neurotransmitters, the brain chemicals that our brain makes. It has triggers in the brain, and a personalized experience. So who can tell me about a personalized experience that they've had with a smell? Would anybody like to tell me about a smell that they had? Like cookies, right? What does the smell of baking cookies do to your brain?
Right. It makes you think of when you were little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes you think of your mom, and you're happy. Same as when you're cutting into an orange, you just feel a little more alive, a little bit happy. It's fresh and bright.
Yeah.
Did he say orange?
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever mix the peppermint and orange together?
Yeah.
I do those and it'll wake you up for a car ride.
And it opens your sinus.
Mhm.
Yeah, I love that.
That's one of
Yes.
my favorites.
So what does that do to your brain, right? What does that trigger in your brain?
Yeah. It awakens you. Yep.
Yeah. Isn't that so cool?
I think it makes you a little more aware. You have cognitive awareness, and it unclogs your head, your sinus, and the orange makes you uplifted.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So, why do we use essential oils to manage our moods? Right? They're natural and they're safe. It generates a quick response. As you heard with Laura and with John, man, you know, they got that essential oil in their nose and right away their sinuses opened up. It stimulated the brain, it woke them up, it made them happier. That's within, what, 1 second, right?
Right.
Isn't that amazing? Like, it just is amazing to me. And it's a simple way to manage emotions.
Yeah.
You know, like compared to medications, you know, the SSRIs are the mood uplifters. They're the ones that help increase serotonin and dopamines.
Mhm.
And when you take the pill has to be processed in your gut. And what if you have gut issues? What if you have, you know, a leaky gut syndrome or any of the gastric problems and you don't have the absorption level that you're supposed to have? And so the medications can't get absorbed very quickly or easily. And a lot of times some of them don't get absorbed into the stomach because of the poor gut reactions. And medications, it takes approximately 6 weeks to take effect.
Yeah.
And it has side effects. It has side effects because they take the plant and they create something different out of it. So it's not a pure plant. It's not a pure substance.
Mhm.
And so our
Marianne.
body then can't absorb it right away.
I've been having problems if I eat too late and then have a glass of wine or two in the evening afterward, that I'll wake up and have like the puke burp that just like burns and burns and burns. It's horrible. And I get up, brush my teeth, do everything, and nothing is helping. And I'm coughing and coughing, just trying to get that. And I got I forget what they're called. They're like our Tums chewables. Have you tried those? It just took it right away. It was amazing. It settled that all down and it was just awesome. It's very, very strong tasting. It's not like a Tums. It's just like chalk. You know, but it really worked.
Is
So
it the digest tab?
it's, yes, I think so.
Yes.
The tablet.
And they're kind of licorice
Yes.
tasting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But they work.
Really worked.
Yes.
So Laura,
Usually-
if you would do the terrazymes, the digestive enzymes, right before you eat or right after you eat,
Okay.
then it would help to break down those chemicals in your
Sometimes
body.
I'll try to remember to just do a peppermint, the pill before the soft gel before I go to bed, and that usually helps. You know, the Digestin, sometimes you're burping that up at night then, but the peppermint soft gels are really good for it too, if I remember.
Yeah.
Right, but the digestive enzymes actually help to break down the food particles.
Yes.
And that way you're not getting that burping because
Right.
the food is being digested, you know, quickly.
Better. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And the oils work really quickly then.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you aromatic, topical versus internally, right? So we're talking about the emotional oils, right? So why would you want to take them internally to affect your emotions? doTERRA has a pill, several pill sizes that are prescription made. The drops are counted out and it's researched to have the effect that they want to on the body, calming and stuff like that. It's called adaptive. However, I don't use essential oils internally to help my emotions. I do them aromatically or I do them topically. And after so many years of just putting them on me and using them myself, it's really quickly whenever you smell them in, just like Laura said with the peppermint and the orange. Once you inhale these essential oils, these chemicals, you know, it goes into the brain olfactory system. So it goes up in through your nasal passages and it gets directly absorbed into the brain, into the limbic system. So the limbic system is the system that controls our emotions. And it helps to elicit the emotional response. And then so that the brain can release the neurotransmitters like serotonin and dopamine. And it's so important that it's like just a direct effect right up into your brain. So the other thing about aromatic, the way I would choose the oil, as we just heard, right? Inhaling our scents has an effect on our brain. Different scents trigger different emotions. And, you know, if you have a pine oil and you smell pine oil and you don't like that smell, what's going to happen? You know, it's not going to be a very pleasant effect on our body. And so that's what we have to really keep in mind whenever we're using essential oils aromatically for our emotions, because the smell's just going to counteract anything that's happening emotionally because of the subconscious brain. And so topical, I would definitely use, like if I don't like the smell of pine, I would definitely just put it on my body, put it on the bottom of your feet, put it on the back of your neck. You know, an essential oil gets absorbed within 30 seconds after the application, and it passes into the bloodstream at that time. So topical, so if you put your hands behind your head and in your base of your skull, you can feel these 2 points, and they're a soft point where your neck meets your head. So there's an artery that goes around and goes right at those 2 soft points. And if you put the oils right there, then it gets directly absorbed into that artery and goes directly into your into the chemicals of your brain and into your brain right away. So you always want to make sure that you put the oils on a pulse point, like on here or on your wrists. You can use the reflexology points on your body, the acupressure points also, because that's going to, the body's going to use it through the nervous system, and it's going to get into the brain for the brain to release the chemicals that it needs to release. So does anybody have any questions about that?
Well, we talked about inhaling them from your hand, but maybe people don't know they can diffuse it in a diffuser,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and it makes the room smell. I know in the evening we diffuse in our bedroom a blend called Serenity, and it relaxes you and you sleep deeper. And it's not applied, but it's in the diffuser.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
very good. You can also place it on cotton balls around your house.
Yeah.
And in your car too. What other ways? I think that's the only 2 ways that I have used it for aromatically. You can put it on the clay discs also, too. And they have necklaces for diffusing the oils too.
Mhm.
Very cool. Thanks.
Yeah.
So this is the emotional wheel. So whenever I first got into using essential oils, I never, ever associated the essential oil with the type of oil it was. Like the different varieties, like the florals, the mints, the citruses, spices, herbs and grasses and trees. I never knew that. And each type of smell, like a mint, works on different types of emotions. So if you're sad, or if you're want uplifted, then, or if you're bored, right? You can just think, oh, it's a spice oil. I'm going to use a spice oil for bored. Oh, what's a spice oil, right? Cinnamon is a spice oil. Rosemary is a spice oil. And it's a really cool way to link the essential oil and your moods.
Mm.
So mint oils, they're uplifting, energizing, right? Invigorating. They have uplifting properties like the peppermint, the spearmints.
Right.
They increase the serotonin and dopamine levels in your brain. So what other mints is there? I was thinking like eucalyptus. But eucalyptus isn't a mint. It smells minty.
About
There's,
wintergreen.
oh yeah, wintergreen. I forgot about wintergreen.
Mhm.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, and past tense has a lot of minty stuff in
Yes.
it. The
Mhm.
mints also are good to take away pain in your body, headaches for your head. They help you, like the emotions associated with this is empathic, right? Insecure, anxious. Yeah, so whenever you're feeling anxious or insecure, mint. Oh, I need a mint oil. So then we have the flowers, the floral. And so floral oils are really good for toning and calming properties. So toning would be like coming from within, calming. And those would be rose and jasmine, melissa, Roman chamomile, lang lang. My experiences with these, with lang lang, it's a very, very highly calming oil, very sedative. The same thing with Roman chamomile. You know, they have the Roman chamomile, they have the chamomile tea. So chamomile is known for its properties of relaxation. And so, you know, when you think, oh, I'm fearful, or I'm worried, or I'm hurt, rose is a really, really good oil to open up the heart. Melissa also. Melissa is a really, really high oil to help with the brain, to help with like get past worries and fear and everything. Do you have any other
Lavender.
floral?
Lavender,
Uh-huh.
geranium.
Yeah.
Those are all good too.
So
Mhm.
geranium, they say, has the same frequency as rose. Geranium is the poor man's rose.
I didn't know that.
Yes. And with rose oil, you've got to be really careful because they, you know, the cheaper oils are called rose hips. and it's not even the same type of chemical properties as a pure rose oil has.
Is that because the rose oil comes from the petals and rose hips come from a different part of the flower?
Mm-hmm.
I would think, yeah.
Very good. You've been studying.
And yeah,
Yeah. So, you know, whenever I started learning this, I thought it was really good. Like, wow, okay, so if I'm fearful or I'm worried, I can just grab a flower type of oil.
right. Getting back to adaptive, I don't take the internal, but in the evening when I'm ready for bed, I do the adaptive roller. And when you smell the blend, you can smell that it has lavender and a little maybe wintergreen or a mint of some kind. So they already pre-blended mint and floral together for a calming oil. I just love that oil.
Yes, it does smell really good. And the ingredients in that is wild orange, lavender, copaiba, spearmint. So it's got the minty,
Yes.
neroli, and sweet gum.
Oh, nice.
And it does have the properties of calming. The negative emotions that it helps with is anxiousness, uneasy, worried. So, it's part of the flowers, right? Because it's got the lavender in it.
Right.
And
And neroli, right?
right. Neroli is like a citrus.
Mm-hmm.
And you can place that on your heart also
Right.
to open up the heart and get rid of the fear and the worry.
Right.
So then we have the citrus oils, right? Citrus oils are cleansing. So they really cleanse the body and the brain of emotions that we don't want, like the negative emotions, the toxic stuff that we don't want in our brain and in our bodies. They're uplifting, they're embracing, they're invigorating, and they're refreshing. So we have bergamot. Bergamot is a really great relaxing oil. Grapefruit and lemon, they just smell clean. I like to diffuse lemon around the house because it does just smell clean and it's cleansing for the air. Wild orange is one of those ones that Laura was talking about before. It's an antidepressant. It uplifts the serotonin and the dopamine levels also. And I have a friend that wanted me to talk about eating, right? Like that eating that when we're bored or nervous eating,
Yeah.
the emotional eating. Slim and Sassy is really good to avoid that. Whenever you smell Slim and Sassy, it stops the brain from wanting the food. Just like black pepper for addictions, right? Citrus oils help to decrease addictions because of the neurotransmitters that it releases from the brain.
Well, in this quarantine, I better start diffusing them because I'm eating. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so take your Slim and Sassy, right? Take your lemon oil. Take your black pepper. Black pepper is great for addictions. It
Okay.
it releases the chemicals in our brain, and it stops us to think, oh, you know, um, there's chemicals that, sorry, my dogs are barking. There's chemicals that are released during addictive behaviors, and the citrus oils can actually stop them from being released. And it helps us, like Slim and Sassy, deters us from eating too much. I've had many, many testimonials of that. People put it on their on a cotton ball at their desk, and they smell it, and then they don't want to eat as much, or they, they're not hungry then because of the cleansing effect of the citrus oils.
Okay.
So then we have our trees, grass, and herbs. They promote soothing, renewing, and grounding properties in our body. So they are cleansing also. Lemongrass is really good at that. Lemongrass is not a citrus oil, but it has the same cleansing properties as the citrus oils. Belvedere actually brings our thoughts that we're having outside of our brain, and it brings the thoughts back into our body. It grounds us. So when you're using a grounding oil, it's really good to put it on the bottom of your feet or on your root chakra to ground us to the ground, to the earth. And they help with sadness and feeling ashamed and renewing. So doTERRA has an oil called Balance, and it's a blend. And they have a BOGO going on right now. So if anybody's interested in this oil called Serenity, it's also part of a flower too, and it's a grounding blend too. It's an uplifting, calming oil. So you buy Serenity and then you get the Balance oil for free. And that's up until midnight tonight.
And both, I use them both every day. I love them. Yeah. Very good.
Yes. I use Serenity to sleep with, to calm me down instead of lavender. My body likes Serenity for that type of thing.
Me too.
So were you familiar with how, the different types of the trees and the grass and the herbs and the citrus oils and that had an effect on our body? I just found that so interesting. Oh, a tree. Oh, okay. Well, that's a grounding. So if I'm feeling scattered, right, then I can get an oil that's from a tree. You can go touch a tree too.
When you walk in the woods, you get a sense of being a part of nature, and it's grounding. Just being in nature without diversion. So I believe that the trees have a grounding effect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so again, that smell, right?
Yeah.
When you're in
Right.
the woods.
Right.
So whenever you smell the pine oils,
Right.
it's going to take you back to a memory of being in the woods with all the pine trees, or even
Mhm.
Christmas time too.
Right.
So then we have our spice oils, and they're warming. So when we're kind of feeling disinterested in things, or when we're bored, or when we just are feeling cold and isolated, right, and lonely, we can use the warming properties of the spice oils, like cinnamon and ginger and black pepper. What other spice oils are there?
Clove.
So would you use clove for an emotional oil? Like, would you even think of using cloves?
No, but when I think of cloves, I think of ham being baked in the oven, or an apple pie, or a spice cake. So maybe, the cinnamon and the all those warm spices make you feel at home.
Mm,
And
Clove is very good for numbing too. I had a
yes.
root canal done and I don't like to take anything. And that's what I put on. I would just put some clove on my gums morning and every chance that it would start hurting again.
yeah,
So clove is also the oil of boundaries. So clove helps us to get rid of the negative emotions of victimhood, of being defeated, right? So when you have your toothache, you feel kind of defeated. You don't have any control over it. And so the clove will help you feel uplifting and protected and courageous. So that's pretty cool, huh?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you get a double benefit of it, right? Whenever you use it on your mouth. It has the numbing properties, but it can also uplift too. And it helps with being empowered.
I like that. Hmm.
Yeah. So what would you use cilantro for? Right? That's not one that I would ever think of to use as a emotional oil.
Well, number one, you would have to like the scent, and a lot of people don't like the scent of cilantro.
Yes, including me.
Yeah.
I like to eat cilantro, but I
Yeah,
cannot stand the smell of cilantro at all.
yeah. Me either.
So cilantro helps us to release control.
Well, we can put it on the bottom of our feet,
Yes,
right?
yes. So cilantro is a really great essential oil for emotional effects at this time of this pandemic, when we're all trapped in the house and we're
Yeah.
feeling trapped. We've got to wear these masks, right? We feel trapped and closed. And cilantro then helps us to be liberated. It helps us to stop worried. It helps us to stop obsessing about being trapped in the house, about wearing these masks. And it helps us to feel peaceful and detached and untroubled. So it's about releasing control.
that's a good thing.
Yes, that is a good thing for right now at this time.
Yeah.
And cinnamon is the oil of abundance. It helps us to receive, it helps us to warm our bodies and to calm us down. Cinnamon helps us, to stop controlling too. It helps us to stop being jealous. So like I had said before, doTERRA is having a BOGO, and it's buy Serenity and get balance free, and it's up until midnight tonight. Balance is a grounding blend, and it's a blend of oils, and it helps us ground. It helps us to feel less scattered. It helps us to feel connected, and it gives us inner strength, which we need a lot of that now at this time, during when we're in this house and we're closed in and we can't have physical connection with people.
Right.
And it helps us to be connected, and it helps with stability also. And Serenity is calming. Serenity is tranquility. I like that about this oil. And whenever we have all of these, responsibilities and this fear of this time of this pandemic, and it helps with restlessness. It helps us to calm us down. And any time that you can support your body with something like this, it works so fast and it works so easily. All you have to do is smell it or put it on.
I use balance every day when I wake up, and it just is like reassuring for me. And when I'm at the salon, a lot of times I will choose to diffuse that at my station, because I feel like anyone coming in needs to be reassured and relaxed and even healed. A lot of time people are coming into the salon after work and they're all uptight and they don't even realize, that they're that uptight. And I know, because I'm not uptight, because I've been there all day with running balance. And I just want everyone to have a little bit of what I have. And I find it very reassuring. The I don't even know what the blend is, but I love it. And they have a balanced deodorant, and I use it because I love the smell. And I'm trying to use less chemical intake in my body. So I love doTERRA for that, finding natural ways of dealing with hygiene, and like I use their vitamins. Um, I can't say enough about it, but I love balance and serenity. Yeah. Hmm.
So like at the beginning, as Jackie said, we're not promoting one product.
Right.
It's just that we all use doTERRA. So
Right,
it's a little bit difficult to know about, another brand or another product.
right. I
Um,
don't know anything about any other brand, but I love this because it is certified therapeutic grade, and I feel confident in that it isn't harmful. You
mhm.
know, it's building me up.
And
Yeah.
you feel an effect from the oils. Like the
Always.
oils have, actually have an uplifting effect on your body.
Absolutely. Hmm. Yeah.
So does anybody else have any questions or anything, any comments to make? Any questions about any other oils?
Hey, so I've been listening. My screen was off, but this is kind of a little bit off topic, but maybe this is something we can discuss like in the future, but wrinkles or skincare, I think that that's significant. Like I always kind of thought, like women seem to age differently than men, and I think, in my head, I thought, well, maybe it's because we put more on our skin, in this, like in the sense of like, you think like makeups and those skincares have chemicals in them. So to use something natural that is safe, I think that maybe that's a better solution.
So it also has to do with the hormones of our body. Testosterone helps with skin better than estrogen. And as we age, our estrogens decrease. And so it takes the elasticity out of our skin. But yes, that's a definite, we can do natural skincare products for that.
Yay, thank you.
And yes, Lori G was saying about pine oils, and it reminds her of Christmas. And so, I can't emphasize enough of liking the smell of the oil, because that's going to have a greater effect on your body than something that you don't like the smell of. I don't like the smell of cilantro, but sometimes I do use cilantro to have, less stress on my body, to not feel so closed in. And I will put it on the bottom of my feet. That's not something that I smell, because it's just not fun for me, right? Ah,
Honestly, I I can't stand the smell of cinnamon.
oh,
And when I had a blend that I put on my wrists and my temples, I couldn't wait to go home and wash my face.
ah,
I couldn't stand it. Yeah.
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 Go ahead, Lori.
Marianne, I wanted to make a comment. I have doTERRA Citrus because I love the smell of citrus hand cream. But it's funny is I put it on at night before bed and I lay in bed with it and I smell my hands and I just love it. But it still makes me go to sleep, even though it's the opposite probably effect of it needs to be uplifting, right?
Yeah.
Makes me fall asleep.
Well, so that, for instance, that triggers a relaxing happiness in your body, right?
Okay, yeah.
And so whenever we're happy, we're calming. Oh yeah, that right there,
Okay.
like that. Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I never thought about putting oils or creams or whatever on feet. So that was new for me.
So the feet have the biggest pores of our body,
Okay.
and it has the most acupressure points, like reflexology.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's going to get absorbed into our nervous system through the meridian points of our body. The meridian is a pathway that our body takes for talking with itself, just like the chakras. But the meridians are connected to the gallbladder and to all of the major organs. And it's a pathway that the body connects the body. And that's how the body talks with itself.
Okay. I mean, I've put foot cream on before, but it's so slippery, like you can't walk for a while.
So a pure oil or a pure
essential oil.
right, a pure lotion, if it's being absorbed in, will not be slippery.
Oh,
With
okay.
more than at least a minute.
Well, and the essential oils are really not oily. Yeah.
Okay, I must be using the wrong stuff.
Well, you're using the cream,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I even put socks on and it's still slippery.
Yes, that's an emulsive that they put in the lotion that the body can't absorb.
Okay.
I put lotions and oils on my feet every single day. And I don't have that problem. They're absorbed right away. So it's just like you can tell a pure essential oil by it's not going to leave a stain on your clothing or on your sheets or any type of fabric.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you put that cream on your sheet or on like a piece of cloth, even a paper towel, an essential oil will not stain a paper towel.
Okay.
So if you put that on that, and if it's still there, then it's the emulsives that are in the lotions. But like, just you have concerns about that too, then so we can do skincare. And
Yeah, I like that idea.
And the different oils that help with the skin. I did some research on that, and I was very enlightened in another group of essential oils that I follow through Facebook, and I learned a lot of stuff, and it was really amazing. So, yeah, I would love to teach it.
Thank you, Marianne.
You're welcome. Anything else? All right. Well, very good. Until next time, we're here to empower you, right? And, make sure that you support your body. And it can be really, really easy to support your body instead of ignoring your body and ignoring the pain and the sadness and all of our emotions. You don't have to endure it. There's products out there, there's stuff out there that help to support it within 30 seconds. I would rather feel happy within 30 seconds than feel sad for 8 hours. So it's really a choice. What are you going to choose from now on?
Okay, thank you so much, Marianne.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Oh, wait, Laura, we can't hear you. There you are.
I was just trying to look and see who's tomorrow night.
Tomorrow is Joel Polk.
Oh, okay, that's right. And then Wednesday we have book club. And Wednesday night we have Sarah. I think she's coming live to do an art meditation, or no, more art yoga class. And then Thursday is Erin McCauley again. And I think, is that it for the week?
And then Friday we have the
that's right.
quarantine cleaning, green cleaning with Kelsey Curry.
Very good.
That'll be
Good.
Yeah. Yay.
All right.
So
Thank you so much again, Marianne. We appreciate your time. John, thank you for hopping on.
Oh,
sharing too, and Lori.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you.
Nice being with you all.
You too.
Thank you guys. We'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
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 Record.